Hello everyone, I'm Max with AutoTopNL and welcome to another POV review, this time of the Peugeot 308 GTI. And as you can see, we have both versions here. So the red one is the GTI 250 and the white one is the GTI 270. So let's start with the looks of these cars. Let's start with the red one. I think this looks absolutely gorgeous. This color is so nice on this car. It's a really nice red as well. So let's start at the back, which is my favorite part of the car. As you can see, lovely diffuser in black with beautiful exhaust pipes, which just look so well finished and just well made. Not that, you know, two pipes in one pipe bullshit, just one big pipe on each side, which looks absolutely stunning. I really like those tail lights, which are really elegant and simple. We have a very modest spoiler right here, and on the red one you can see that little red lipstick in the bumper over there, which the red one doesn't have. It just has some chrome. And when we get to the back of the white one, you can see that the rear lights are, they just pop a little more. And also you can see that the 250 and 270 are nearly identical to each other. So there's no crazy spoiler package on the 270 or something. They just look really elegant, quite understated, and you know, you could drive this every day and no one would think you're an asshole. So let me tell you some stuff about the differences between the two cars, because there are a few extra things you get on the 270 compared to the 250. So you get 19-inch lightweight wheels on the 270, you get a Torsen limited slip differential, you get leather and Alcantara bucket seats, you get 270 horsepower instead of 250 horsepower. You get Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires, which are just a little bit more sticky. You get 380 millimeters front brakes, which are huge, as you can see. So this is the 270 with that Peugeot Sport caliper in red as well, and these are the brakes on the 250. So that's quite a difference, but the 250 also has the 19-inch wheels as an optional extra, and it also has the bucket seats. So let's go for a drive. We'll start with the 250, of course, and let me clean my shoes a bit. Stupid mud. So, well, let's start with my first problem with the 308 GTI. I absolutely love this car, don't get me wrong. It's an incredible hot hatch, but this deal right here is just silly. I mean, they invented this sort of, they call it the iCockpit, which means the dials are on top of the dash, and so they did that so you don't have to take your eyes off the road. So you actually look at the dials when you look at the road. That's the idea, I think. And so they made this small wheel so you'd be able to see the dials. But I'm quite tall, so this might not be everyone's case, but Martijn has the same problem and he's 10 centimeters shorter than me. But let me show you what I mean. So Martijn just drove this car, and the seat has to go quite a bit back, so something like this. And Peugeot says first set your seating position and then make sure your steering wheel is not obstructing your view of the dials. So if I would do that, it would mean my steering wheel would be here. So bear in mind the camera is a bit higher than my eyes, so you might be able to see it a bit better, but this is how I would have to set my steering wheel, which is just, this is way too low. This is not the ideal position. So I'm going to set my steering wheel to the right position, and now I can see my rev limiter. That's a serious problem, and it's really bugging me. We have a little trick for hot hatchbacks, which is just get those rear seats down and you'll be able to hear that exhaust just a bit better. Okay, so this has 250 horsepower and 330 Newton meters of torque. The torque is the same in the 270 actually. So, wow, this is already really quick. So this is one of the nicest hot hatches you can buy today. It is really agile, it's really light. This car only weighs about 1200 kilograms, so that's actually a lot lighter than the competition. I mean, a GTI Club Sport still weighs about 70 kilos more. And so you're driving and you think, wow, this is really nice and it's handling really well. So I would like to go for some sporty driving, you know? So you have this little sport button right here. So I press it and my throttle response gets a bit more aggressive, and I get this sound through the speakers, which I'm not a big fan of, because the pops and bangs you get from the exhaust sometimes are really nice, and I don't need some fake sound as well. But let me show you the biggest problem. I know we already covered this in previous videos, but just for the people who haven't seen those, these, oh my god, this is the rev counter. So as you can see, when I push the sport button, it just all turns red. So Peugeot, where is my rev limiter now? How the hell am I supposed to see where to shift? And my steering wheel is in front of it, so seriously, what happened? What the hell happened? Peugeot Sport built this incredible hot hatch, which drives phenomenally. And then, I mean, this is serious stuff, okay? This, sometimes you feel that this 250 starts sliding a bit at the front wheels, but we'll come to that in the 270, which has a limited slip diff, which solves that problem. So I saw a lot of comments on our previous videos saying, you know, the 250 is ridiculous, why would anyone get a 250 when you also can get the 270? Well, this is around 4 grand cheaper. So this is, I think, like 39,000 euros. And the 270 is like 43. So that's another question we're here to answer today. Should you oh, hello, should you pay an extra 4,000 euros for the stuff you get on the 270? So the limited slip diff, the lighter 19-inch wheels, stickier tires, bigger brakes, these bucket seats, and 270 horsepower. Well, I think so. And let me tell you why. This car has such a capable chassis, and the damping and suspension is just lovely. It's quite firm for daily use. I mean, speed bumps and stuff like that, and shorter irregularities in the road are quite firm and hard. But we drove it on the Autobahn and I was completely blown away. We drove these two at 250 kph, the top speed, and they were so well balanced. we didn't, and I didn't expect that. I thought because it was so firm, I thought it might bounce around a bit and become a bit unstable. So so this is already very nice. And this chassis is so incredibly capable that you would easily be, that it can easily take that extra 20 horsepower, and it can really use that limited slip diff because it gets the power down where this 250 without it sometimes can't. This is already very good. And these brakes are also very nice. So you get some bigger brakes on the 270. Oh, there was a little slide there, and there as well. But these brakes are actually really good. Really nice road for this car actually. So same road, same car, but with all those Peugeot Sport goodies. Let's see if there's a difference. Wow, sometimes you get such a loud bang. That's just really nice. Okay, so let's go for a drive, and you do really feel that limited slip diff working. I mean, you can feel it in your steering wheel. You can feel that when you floor it, it's distributing the power, and when you step on the gas in a corner, you can feel that the differential is pulling you towards the center. So, should you pay an extra 4,000 euros for all of those things? The answer is yes. Okay, if you are in the market for a car like this, you should. I mean, this is the best this car can be. So all of that stuff you get in this car for 4,000 euros, that's a good deal. So what is this car to me? It's light, it's quick, it's really engaging, and when you drive this car fast, you really enjoy it. I mean, it really gives you this sense of purpose and of quintessential hot hatchness, something like that. You know, this is the spirit of hot hatches is in this car, and it's one of the few cars which still has that, light playfulness. And I think that is the essence of a hot hatch. It should be light. It doesn't need to be extremely powerful like the Focus RS or the RS3 or the A45. I mean, those are crazy, and those are hyper hatches. They are mini supercars, and I think the essence of a hot hatch is to have a normal car and a quite normal looking car, and give that some power and some cool hardware. And I think this, together with the Fiesta ST, those are cars, you know, which give you that feeling, that light, playful handling with a very lively front and rear axle. And I just absolutely love cars like these. So the 308 GTI, 250 and 270. As I said, I would recommend to buy the 270 because it's just a good deal, and that limited slip diff really works. There's hardly any torque steer. and it's just very able to put that power down, especially when it's dry. When it's wet, I mean, when it's wet, that's the biggest difference between the 250 and the 270. We drove them all this week, and you really notice that when you're driving the 250, it's just sliding everywhere, whereas this is quite able to put the power down. So 308, 250 or 270, go for the 270. But any other hot hatch or the 308 GTI, I think this is one of the best hot hatches ever. And I know that's quite a bold statement, but this just captures that hot hatch essence, which I think got really lost over the past few years, where everything was just about making them more and more powerful, adding four-wheel drive, adding bigger turbos, and well, that's just not what a hot hatch is supposed to be about. And I think Peugeot Sport really captured that feeling, and we're able to put that in this car. It's just a shame that Peugeot or the marketing department or whoever is responsible for this ridiculous stuff like the iCockpit and the sport button with the sound and the red rev limiter. That was it for this POV review. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet, up here somewhere. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, just find us with @AutoTopNL. And I want to end with a question today. So if you were to buy a hot hatch, firstly, would you go for this 308 GTI? And if so, would you go for the 250, or would you pay the extra 4,000 euros for the 270 and get all that nice, cool hardware? Let us know, and we will see you at the next one. Bye guys.